Hello everyone, this is Mystic Goddess with your general reading. So today we're going to see what's being hidden from you at the time that you watch this reading. This reading is for everyone of every zodiac sign, so feel free to switch the energies around as needed. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into these messages. Give me messages, please, Holy Spirit. For everyone that watches this reading, what is being hidden from my viewers when it comes to love? What is being hidden from my viewers when it comes to love? 2 more shuffles. And make sure that you follow me on Facebook, okay? If any of you have it, I will put a link in the comment section. I am posting other readings there, okay? But it'll be more in a readable format. All right, so let's see what else comes out here. All right, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's someone who wants to make things shift between the two of you. It's giving energy of them doubting themselves, though. They also feel weak for you, or they feel like you're their weakness. So that's one of the things that they don't want you to know. Yeah. You've changed, and it's making this person insecure. It's to the point where they feel inadequate. But I feel like that's something within them that they need to work on. Okay, they may have already had insecurities. They may have already felt inadequate before the two of you even started dealing with one another. They're also admitting that they're a bit of a coward when it comes to making permanent changes. They're a bit stuck in their ways. Right beside that, we have the 10 of Cups. So it's coming out like this person wants you to force yourself to pretend to be happy. I don't know why that's coming out. Also, they view you as the one that they want to spend the rest of their life with. You have provided them with emotional stability. And they feel secure whenever they're connecting with you. So it lets me know that this person didn't have to doubt their place with you. At the top of the deck, we have the Fool card. So someone is either wanting a new beginning with you, or they could have gone toward a new beginning, but it may not have turned out the way that they thought it would. Right beside that, we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. Yep, they went toward something or someone else, but it went nowhere fast. Also, if they've been a bit stagnant when it comes to communication, or if the momentum and the connection has slowed down, even if there's been a disconnect between the two of you, they may not be telling you the real reason as to why. Yeah, they're admitting that they were unprepared for someone like you. The relationship may have progressed between the two of you really quickly. After getting to know this person, you may have realized you were a little bit in over your head. You realize that they have a lot of problems. Yeah, they doubt themselves a lot. Okay, there's a lot of self-doubt on their part. Even though they come off as though they're courageous, they come off as though they're confident, it's all a mask. They're hiding insecurity. They feel like they're not good enough, but they've never felt good enough, even when they were growing up. It's coming out like it may have been instilled within them growing up. So someone may have made them feel like they couldn't do anything right. I just feel like someone instilled low confidence within them, or instilled inadequacy in some way. They may not have had a lot growing up, or there was never enough to go around. Now, for others of you, I feel like they were forced to pretend like they were happy. Okay. It's coming out like they were forced into some type of situation, but it has to do with their upbringing, Could have even had to do with where they lived. Give me more. I feel like they were groomed to make someone in their family happy. I don't know why that's coming out. Yeah, they were groomed to make someone else happy. And it instilled self-doubt within them. Or low self-confidence. So they were kind of groomed to seek validation. That's what I'm trying to say. What is this person hiding from my viewers? All right, we have the Queen of Wands and it came out crossing. There are times when they come off like they're just in a bad mood. And sometimes it's even like it's for no reason at all. This person was bullied. I don't know if they had a sibling that bullied them, a parent that bullied them, or if they were bullied by people at school, but they went through some bullying and it made them kind of a mean boy or a mean girl. May have even made them a bad boy or a bad girl. They think that good guys and good girls finish last. That's the type of mentality that they have. They're also saying that they did some things to try and make you jealous, all because they were lacking confidence. They know that they're temperamental or really moody. I also feel like they're selfish, but it stems from inadequacy growing up. I don't know why so much is coming out about this person's childhood. Maybe they're trying to explain why they are the way that they are, but at the end of the day, it's no excuse because they're an adult now. I mean, it's time to get things pushing. Yeah, they have no excuse for this inadequacy, for being stuck and stagnant. There's also some type of situation that they were afraid of growing up. So they may have had a parent that was really forceful, really dominant, possibly even mean. I wouldn't be surprised if the parent kind of picked on them a little bit. This is sad. What in the world? Yeah, they didn't feel safe. And there's also someone in their family dynamic that's a coward, or they had cowardly type of energy. So for example, the mom could have kind of dominated over the dad, or the dad could have dominated over the mom, or someone was completely absent. And they were kind of forced to pretend as though they were okay with it. With the Seven of Cups being at the bottom of the deck. They are under a lot of illusions, okay? This is someone who kind of lives in la la land to an extent. They're also admitting that when they get distant, it's because they're trying to protect themselves. Also, it's going to be really important for you to stand your grounds, defend your peace, because it's coming out like they expect you to, how can I put it? They expect you to play a part in their illusions. So they want you to be delusional, basically. So it's going to be important for you to be assertive, be sure of yourself. Also, they're admitting that they would push you away because they felt as though you were too perfect. Yeah, they feel like you're too perfect. I feel like that may be one of the reasons why there were times when they would kind of try to knock you off of your throne, or they would say weird things or do weird things. Give me more. All right, we have the Three of Swords. All they feel as though they know is pain. They had their heart broken from a very early age, and it was by someone close to them, mother, father, siblings, take it however it fits. They've been hurt a lot. Also, for those of you who are going through a separation with this person, or if the two of you are no longer together, they're admitting that they've cried. They have cried over you. For some of you, they have a lot of trauma. They have a lot of trauma. And there's a part of them that feels a lack of wholeness. Okay? That is why this person has a negative mindset, or there are times when they are pessimistic. That may be why, even though in their eyes you're the perfect package, they're just discontent with their own life. They're also admitting that they have a negative mindset, or they always think the worst, as a way to protect their heart and their mind space. What I mean by that is they were let down a lot. So they were kind of groomed to expect the worst. Okay. And that's why they have the type of pessimistic mentality that they do. It's almost their way of protecting themselves from being let down. Yeah, you were too perfect. You were too perfect for this person. And I know that no one is perfect, but in their eyes, you are. I don't care how they come off. I do not care how this person behaved with you. The things that they were doing were a direct reflection of themselves. It had nothing to do with you. There was just a lot of inner work that needed to be done. There are a lot of unhealed wounds here, and they never really got closure. They don't feel like they belong. They don't feel like they belong. Almost like they don't fit in, not even in their family. It's giving black sheep type of energy. Yeah. They felt as though you were too perfect. And so they became a coward. It scared them. Because they didn't feel adequate enough to give you that same energy in return. With the 9 of Wands being in reverse, they're admitting that they're stubborn. Okay, they know they have a lot of issues. They don't like to compromise. They like things their way. But it's also giving energy of this person admitting that they've kind of given up on, I don't want to say they've given up on love, but they've given up on conforming. They feel as though being good, or I don't want to say being good, because I mean, what is good? Okay, my good may not be your good. Your good may not be my good. Who knows? But they've kind of given up on doing things the conventional way because they felt like it didn't get them anywhere. Nothing was traditional in this person's life. They may not have had a traditional upbringing. Nothing was traditional. Oh, this is so sad. For some of you, they've kind of even given up on their belief system, their morals, their faith in the divine. Now that's really sad. That's where they're really messing up at. And it's sad because the devil knows that God's work cannot be stopped. Therefore, the devil tries to stop prayers from being prayed in the first place. Okay? And it's sad because I feel like this is someone who probably doesn't pray. Like, they're completely disconnected from source. And what they don't understand is it's leaving them defenseless. It's leaving them vulnerable to attack. They may have been raised going to church and now they don't. Or for some of you, they do go to church, but there's emptiness behind it. Almost like they do it just to say they do it. And the crazy thing is, they may preach to others or they speak knowledge to others, but they don't even follow their own advice. Yeah. At the top of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles. So they're admitting that you're a very generous person. You've helped them out in numerous ways. Some of you financially, for others of you just by being there for them. All right. They're admitting that they didn't give you an equal give and take. They're saying that they were grateful for you, but see, it didn't seem that way. In the physical, it didn't seem that way. Because of the moves that they would make, because of the things that they would do, because of the way that they would treat you, because of what they did not provide in the connection, they didn't seem like they were grateful. But they're saying that they were. Well, they have a really weird way of showing it. They also are saying that they have been deeply affected by losing whatever it is that you were offering. This is a deep reading. I was not expecting this. Also, there are times when they beat themselves up because they know that they kind of ruined a good thing. They're not used to someone giving to them and pouring into them with no strings attached. Okay, this is someone who's used to hardship. They're used to loss. They're used to being alienated and struggling. So the only thing they gave you in return was struggle love. With the Ten of Swords being here along with the Page of Wands, they're also admitting that they said some really messed up things to you. Really messed up things. Out of bitterness. And out of pettiness. For some of you, they're admitting that there were times that they ruined your day, or they would say little things that would, oh, how can I put this? Like, let's say you're having a great day, like you're in a really, really good mood. They would say or do something to try and bring you down. And they're saying it's because they're bitter. This is someone who doesn't know how to be happy. They don't know how to just be happy. With the Nine of Swords being here along with the King of Cups, they know that your love was genuine, or that it is genuine. If there has been an ending or a disconnect, they're fearful that they will never find anyone else that will love them the way that you did. They don't feel like they're worthy of love. They don't feel lovable. They are fearful that they will never find someone who is as devoted as you, someone who will take the time to listen, but not just listen, but also kind of act as a counselor or advisor, someone who would try to keep them balanced, both head and heart. You're really wise, and I feel like you dropped a lot of gems upon this person that they let go over their head. Now they're sitting here thinking about it. They're sitting here thinking about it. They know that you're wise. And I feel like that's what bothers them the most, because they know that you meant well, even though they may not have wanted to hear it. They also are admitting that they love you deeply, but expressing it gives them anxiety. At the top of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. You remind them a lot of their past, okay? There could have been one person in particular when they were a child who acted as a really good mentor or someone who gave them comfort. They found comfort in someone. It's an adult. It could very well be a female, but, you know, it could very well be a male, but it's coming out like it's a female. But there was someone who was older, okay? I can't say how much older. It looks like they were maybe like a older. It looks like it may have been an adult or someone who was close to adulthood. But that person brought them a lot of comfort, and you remind them of that person. Some of you remind them of how they should have been loved as a child. I will say, someone messed this person up. But see, they don't have to say messed up. They can play their own cards. Now, I say that all the time. You don't have to keep the same hand that you were dealt as a child. Change your hand. You don't have to keep those same cards. Change your hand as many times as you need to. You choose how to play the cards. Now, no one can tell you how to play your cards as an adult. So at this point, we have to be careful with feeling too sorry for them. Now, we can be compassionate toward them. We can pray for them. But, I mean, they're choosing to be a product of their environment. We can't force this person to change. They would prefer for everything or everyone around them to change instead of them doing the inner work. When it comes to them doing the inner work, they become a coward. And I know these messages sound blunt. I'm not being mean. But I have to call it how I see it. I'm not here to sugarcoat for you. Your love gave them a sense of comfort. And it's very familiar to them. But they experienced it with one particular person. Now, it could also be a father. Could be a father or someone who acted as a father figure. It could be either one. It's a general reading, so take it however it fits. But there was someone who tried to talk to them, someone who did give them pleasure as a child, someone who was really nice to them. But it was one person. Could have been two, but it's coming out like it was one. To the most, it was three. But everybody else kind of tore them down. They're also admitting that they're haunted by memories of the past. Certain things that they did to you. But also they're haunted by childhood memories. That keeps coming out. Someone also made them feel alone. Or they were left alone a lot as a child. Could be that they would be at home alone a lot. Or they would have to watch over siblings a lot alone. There's something off here. Someone also isolated their love for this person. So someone used their love as a bargaining tool. They used affection as a bargaining tool. Meaning, if you do what I want you to do, I'll show you a little bit of affection. Give me another card. All right, we have the Four of Wands, and it came out in reverse. And if you notice, it came out on top of the Star card in reverse. So they're saying that they have a very weak support system, okay? There's a lot of instability surrounding them. They're evil. They're even unstable spiritually. But it started at home. I can't look past that. It started with the roots. The root of their family is messed up. So, you know, it affects the tree. Someone didn't plant stable roots, or roots didn't grow stably. Take it however you want to put it, or put it however you want to, but they just felt unwelcome at home. And there was a lot of negativity in the home. With the Eight of Swords being here, they may not have had a lot of, I don't know if they didn't have a lot of freedom growing up, like someone was overbearing, or they didn't hardly ever get to go anywhere, but they felt like they were in a prison. Someone also victimized them at home. I see so much here that I wouldn't be able to even say on YouTube. Someone victimized them in a home, okay? It could have been their home, or it could have been someone else's home, and I want to say something like that came out in yesterday's reading as well, okay? But they were victimized at home. For some of you, it was in a sexual manner. For others of you, they were a victim of someone else's hopelessness. Someone may have projected onto them. My earring just dropped, guys. I hope I didn't scare any of you. They were also restricted when it comes to speaking. So they were not able to express themselves, give any input. They just felt helpless. And there was nothing they could do about it. But see, there's something they can do about it now. I don't care what kind of sad story they come out with. I mean, I'm gonna bring it right back to they can make changes because they're an adult now. You can have a new beginning, but you're not doing anything about it. That's what I'm seeing. They keep waiting for change and not doing anything about it when they're free to make those changes. They're free to put in the footwork. The Fool card, I mean, that's a new beginning. They can write a new story, but they're not doing anything. They won't pick up the pen. They're either really slow when it comes to making things happen, or they wait around for the right opportunity when in reality there may not ever be one. The best thing I can compare it to is having children. You know how people say there's no right time to have a child, like, you know. They're always waiting for the perfect time. If I get this together, if I get that together, then everything will be fine, and then I can do it. That's the energy that this person is in. They're always waiting. Always waiting. But yeah, someone definitely played a role in stripping this person's innocence or their freedom in some way, whether it's freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of expression. And I also feel like they give up too easily. This is someone who gives up really easily. And see, the crazy thing is they can be spontaneous at times and do things out of nowhere. But they move in haste. And it ends up being a chaotic situation. With the Eight of Cups being at the bottom of the deck, along with the Queen of Swords, if you cut this person off, they're saying that you had every reason to. If they cut you off, all right, with the Two of Swords being in reverse, they're saying that they wish they would have waited. There's a truth that they want to reveal to you in regards to how they feel and in regards to how much they know your worth. Okay, you're the best thing that ever happened to this person. The best thing that ever happened to them. Being with you, they knew they were winning. They knew it. But I feel like they let pride and unhealed trauma get in the way. Some of you really held this person up. And you did so behind the scenes. I feel like you were not just going out of your way to let people know that you were holding this person up in some way. Whether it was through showing genuine love, pouring into them, recognizing their accomplishments, celebrating with them, whether it was nurturing in them, pouring into them, creating new opportunities for them. Okay? Some of you were doing that behind the scenes and no one was even aware of it. But you did it out of being genuine. You did it because you love them. Okay? They're saying that they should have been proud to have someone like you. They didn't always give you the affection, the attention, and the compliments that you deserved. All right? But with the Two of Pentacles being here, along with the Page of Cups and the Hanged Man, even though they recognize so much worth within you, even though they recognize your value, because of their uncertainty when it comes to their own thoughts of inadequacy, they didn't know what to do with you. This is deep. Very deep. For a few of you, if you were to communicate with this person, could be sometime in the near future, within the next month or so, they could come in telling you about some type of sacrifice that they made. But they're going to need to stick to it. Okay? Because I just feel like they always end up giving in to their vices, or they always end up making things a lot harder than they have to be. They make their own life hard. And they need to be careful when it comes to drugs or alcohol. Oh, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. They need to be careful when it comes to being around the wrong people, or when it comes to addictions, because I do see some type of upheaval, some type of chaos, possibly even some type of disaster. It can be averted if they were to make some changes. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I rebuke that. Any disasters in the name of Jesus. But yeah, they use addictions to try and mellow out their trauma. Maybe even to try and cover it, but it only makes things worse. It's not helping them at all. So yeah, there's a lot here. There is a lot here. They're fully aware that they have some really deep-rooted issues. And because they have the mentality of all they know is hurt, because they have the mentality of not being good enough, or they always end up being let down, those same thoughts are going to contribute to them being in situations that are not serving them, or it's gonna contribute to their stagnancy. They know they ruin things. Okay. They know that they betrayed you, but they actually ended up betraying themselves. They're their own worst enemy. But I do see them coming in to reveal some type of truth. This was a very deep reading, but it's kind of hard to feel sorry for this person, and we shouldn't feel sorry for them because, like I said, they can make changes. Okay, they choose to carry that load. They choose to carry those burdens. They choose to not really do anything about it. So if you care about them, make sure that you send up a prayer, because they need it. They truly need it. This person is between a rock and a hard place, or their back is against the wall, and they feel like they're fighting a losing battle. But their mindset has a lot to do with it. They're a prisoner of their own negative mindset. So protect your growth. Protect your energy. You can't save them from their self. They have to learn how to have a different perspective and to realize that what they went through does not define who they are. All right? Whatever happened to them growing up, whatever they feel destroyed them mentally or spiritually, it wasn't happening to them, it was happening for them. And I know that sounds crazy, but I just feel like they allowed their experience growing up to be something that holds them back, instead of it being a catalyst for them to change. Okay? If this person were to do right, there will be so much good fortune coming toward them. So many blessings. Okay? They need to understand that what they went through growing up, it was just a moment in their life. It was just a time period in their life. It was a cycle. And now we're past it. They're past it. So they need to move forward. They got to get it together. But don't you lose yourself trying to save them or trying to get them to see something that they're determined to be blind to. At this point, it would be like leading the blind. Leading the blind. Not holding their hand, but just, just telling them to follow you. Even when you know they can't see. But see, this person, they're not even trying to see. All right. So that is the reading, everyone. If you guys resonated with this, or if you like this reading, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you as a part of the Mystic family. I love each and every one of you guys so much. You take care. Be safe. Until next time. Bye.